In this screencast, I'm going to use the Histogram Maker that I supplied for you in the links section and some sample data to create a histogram. You will be using your data for the Wiki project, depending on which group you're in and depending on which project you selected. But I'm going to go into the Minitab Help Other Resources link. In there, I will find online calculators. There are other information, or there is other information for iPhone and iPad apps in here if you have those and are interested in purchasing one of those. They can create histograms, some of them. Some of them can create do calculations that we'll see later in the semester. Well, we're going to go under websites and then Histogram Maker. It will require that you have Java updated on your computer, so please make sure your web browser is updated. When you click on this link, you're going to see a sample histogram, and on the page they have a variety of different sample sets, but we want to clear all this. So down here we're going to clear this title, we're going to clear this data, and what we want to do is to copy and paste our data into here, into this white rectangle. Now I have a sample set made in Excel where I want to find or make a histogram, a relative frequency chart dedicated to the weights of 20 patients. And here I have the 20 patients, their weight, their eye color, and the surgeries they've had in the last year. So I'm going to select all of the data values. You will have significantly more than that for the histogram you will be asked to create. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to copy that and I'm going to paste it into the Histogram Maker. I will set my title to Patient's Weight, and I want to update the data. And when I click Update Data, your histogram will update with the numbers that you put into the chart or into this white rectangle. Now, it's kind of strange. We don't want to go over by these weird numbers, so I want to go over the intervals. I want to have intervals of 20, and I want to start at the value of 100 pounds. So I will set that. And now this is a much easier histogram to read. I'm going over by 20s, and I see the relative frequency of each interval. It is your responsibility to be able to explain exactly what this histogram is saying. For example, what I would say is that I see that patients between the weights of 200 and 220 pounds, that was found to be the most common weight of the 20 patients in our sample. We had 6 patients within that interval. That's just an example of how I would word that. Now you are going to want to copy and paste this chart, and you can't just right click on it. There are specific instructions for Windows users and Mac users down at the bottom of the page for printing instructions. If you click on that, for Windows instructions, they show you how to click on print screen, use Microsoft Word, paste that item into there, and then you can crop it or cut it or do what you need to save that picture. For Mac users, you're going to hit Command, Shift, and 4 and select the area that you want to take a picture of, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take a picture with my Mac of this. Again, follow the Windows instructions if you have Windows. So I'll hit Open Apple or Command, Shift, 4. Get these little crosshairs here, and I'm going to select my histogram, and now that is saved to my desktop. So what I want to do now is, in the other part of the instructions, I know that I'm going to have to separate my data depending on what you're asked to do. So I want to see in my data, I want to know if the weights are significantly different for the brown-eyed patients compared to the blue-eyed patients. So I need to sort the data of eye color. So I will click on eye color in Excel. This is all in Excel. We're not using Minitab here. I'm going to click Data, and I'm going to sort the data, and it's already set up for me for eye color. It doesn't matter ascending or descending. Now, if you have a PC and your setup of Excel looks different, you're going to follow similar instructions. It might be slightly different, but I'm going to assume that you have similar tabs up at the top of your screen or maybe at the top of the window. So now when I hit OK, it is now sorted for the blue-eyed patients at the top, then the brown-eyed patients, and the green-eyed patients. So what I want to do is I want to find the mean and the median. I want to find the mode. I want to find the basic descriptive statistics that we talked about for only the blue-eyed patients. So I will select those data values. I will hit copy, Open Apple C or Command C. And under our website's link, I want to click on the top link, Data Calculators and Graph Generators. And then it'll take you to a screen of lots of different things. You can make a box plot, you could make a scatter plot, which we might be using in future lessons. But I want to use the central tendency and dispersion calculator. Here, my data, I'm going to import it here or paste it into this rectangle. My data is coming from a sample of 20, and in this case, actually a smaller sample. The sample is from 20 patients, and I'm going to paste in, keep in mind this was only for the blue-eyed patients. As soon as you paste that in and hit submit, your calculations will be done for you. You have the mean, the median, the mode, the lowest, the highest, the range. Go down here to the standard deviation. We talked about what that is. It gives us an idea of how grouped together or how far you need to go away from the mean to get to a larger percentage of data values. So what we have here again, we have this set up here for the blue-eyed patients. You might want to copy this, paste it into a Word document, or just write these down because you're going to need this for your wiki page. You'll then want to complete the same exact thing but for the brown-eyed patients or the green-eyed patients. And your data will be different. You're going to be sorting it depending on the type of student, if you're doing the proficiency exam, or perhaps you're doing it and depending on where the patient received their pacemaker. So depending on where you're sorting it, you're going to calculate this for those subgroups. Now, I wrote down all this information. It's now time to combine all this information on your wiki page. So if you were to click on Semester Wiki Project, you're going to find your group's wiki. You'll only see one of these things, but I'm going to go into Sample, and you're going to create your page. If you've already created your page, then you will see it titled over here to the right. But if you didn't create your page, that's what you want to do. I'm going to write my name because this is your wiki page. So you'll write your name. And now here is where you will explain your data. So you need to explain the study that you are researching. What questions are you asking this week or are asked of you? And now we want to, if you're going to be talking about the blue-eyed versus the brown-eyed patients, you will type in blue versus brown. You're going to write in the different means and the standard deviations, compare them. Explain what those values mean relative to your data set. Then I want to describe the histogram that I made. So I'm going to import my picture that I saved. You could also, if you want to, record from your webcam. You can insert any file into like a Word document. You can insert an image, which is what I'm going to do right now. Depending on where you saved your image, I saved mine on my desktop. So I'm going to take that screenshot that I made, that picture, that histogram, and I'm going to insert it into my wiki page. This will be inserted into your wiki page, and now you need to explain what this chart is saying. You need to explain, similar to how I explained it earlier. What is this showing, and why is this relevant? To save your page, all you need to do is hit submit. When you hit submit, you will see your page. Anytime you want to go back and edit your page, all you need to do is click on Edit Wiki Content. It will reopen, and if I wanted to, okay, maybe I wanted histogram to be bolded, italicized, underlined, and maybe I want it in the center, and so I want my picture in the center as well. You can edit anything you want, but you need to hit submit in order to save it. Now we have our updated page. I don't want you to get confused and think that this wiki is a lot of work. The wiki is just a place for us to update our Word documents, pretty much. I would still have required you to answer these questions, but instead of writing them in a Word document and emailing them to me every week, you're just going and editing your page each week with the new material. So it allows you to keep a working document of what you're doing from a week-to-week basis. Hopefully this helped a little bit. And if you want to use this, if you were using Minitab and that was working for you, that's great. But if you want to use the histogram maker, the online calculator, and the other things I'd showed you, then please do that. As always, be sure to email me with any questions that you have.